Welcome to the lighter side of the dark side. It's your weekly freak show here on Renegade Radio, also iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher. Got a big up on Spotify. A lot of people catching us on Spotify this week. Thank you very much. We're also on Stitcher, Deezer, Amazon, Audible, also everywhere you find Podchaser, where you find podcasts. It's a Dark Mark show. I'm Dark Mark, the goth comedian. And there she is. She's on camera and in sound in a nice polka dot dress.
Hi.
Is that new?
Thank you.
Is that a birthday present?
I guess it's like the third time I wore it, so I guess it's still kind of new.
It's everybody's favorite vegan heavy metal DJ, Hannah Bach.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Hi, Hannah.
Hello.
So is that an early birthday
Happy
present?
February. Huh?
Is that an early birthday present or?
This?
Yes.
No, actually, I bought this 7 months ago, but it's still new to me since I can't really wear it out.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of I have saved a lot of money on clothes because there's no reason to wear them. Like I wore a pair of jeans for the first time like 2 months ago, or like in months. There's no reason to.
My grandfather's like, "Why are you ordering so many different outfits?" He's like, "You don't have anywhere to wear them." And so then I ordered a bunch of like cute sweatpants that were comfortable.
For him or for you?
Hannah and I have talked about how much shopping we've been doing through the pandemic.
Well, no, you guys have been talking, period. And by the way, that is our guest today. She's been on the show many times. She was on the show first with horror director Candace Rollins. Then she was on with actor Michael D. Goguen. Then she was on with activist and artist Jill Love, who's known as Davida Sal now. Then she was on with Kinky Jesus. Everybody you're on has a pseudonym. And then you were on with Violent Vicky last year, who was a very talented musician. And then you were on my birthday show. It's comedian extraordinaire, although she hasn't done comedy in a while. But you know her, you love her. She's Eddie Murphy's favorite comedian, Jamie Gendron.
Hi, everyone. Yay.
And
always a great show.
This is a special request.
Good. Do you want more?
I said this is a Hannah special request, and we'll get into why in just a moment. But first, the sponsors, real quick. We are sponsored by Audible. We are on Audible and sponsored by Audible. So if you go to audibletrial.com/DMS, you get a free book, access to tons of Audible originals, and you can listen to our show. And that's all for free. You get a 30-day trial membership. You can cancel after 30 days. You keep the book. I listened to the biography of Rob Halford from Judas Priest. It was great. A lot of rock and roll and anal sex stories, Hannah. You might want to check that one out.
All right.
But whatever. They've got everything from Shakespeare to smuts. And they have all sorts of romantic and erotic books for Valentine's Day. So audibletrial.com/DMS. Doomy's Home Cooking. We may or may not be going to Doomy's for your birthday next week, but support your local restaurant, especially support Doomy's Home Cooking, the best vegan food you ever had, 1253 Vine Street. We had our guest last week, Ella Darling, was ecstatic about the chicken sandwiches, and I had the chicken cordon bleu last time. It was delicious. Hannah loves the fun fries, bacon cheeseburgers.
Fun fries. You always have to go with fun fries, or you're going to be disappointed.
Jamie, have you ever had the fun fries?
I still haven't been. We've talked about going, but I still haven't been.
Yes. The corner of Fountain and Vine, 1253 Vine Street in Hollywood. They have outdoor, you can sit outside now and eat, thank goodness. But you can get it to go. You can sit there. Last time I was there, it was a lot of people there. It was a real party outside. Everybody was socially distanced properly, and everybody's enjoying the food. Also, there's one in Culver City, one in Toronto, Canada. Hannah, Hustler Hollywood. What's that? The milkshakes are great. And non-dairy. And also, Hustler Hollywood is sponsoring us again. They've got a new promotion. Ooh. Oh, yeah. No, they emailed me today, so I'm going to be sticking a promo code in the show. I didn't have a chance to really go over it, but they're back on the show. And your boyfriend just messaged me, Hannah. I don't know what's going on. But
he's in the hallway.
This is going to be, by the way, this is going to be a very loose show, by the way, just so you know. Hustler Hollywood. Okay, shop Hustler Hollywood. By the way, Hustler Hollywood's great. I love the stores. HustlerHollywood.com is the way to go if you want to get sex toys. And it's Valentine's Day. They have great prostate massagers. They have great anal bead sets and butt plugs, including vibrating tails and more. Okay, I see what he says, and I say yes. So, and of course, our sponsor right now, forgot Raze energy drinks, the best energy drinks around. I drank them all. This is the best. 0 carbs, 0 calories, 0 crash. This is the Apollo flavor.
And I noticed they put you in a really good mood, and you're like up and cheery. You'd be like, "Good morning, how was your day?" I'm like,
Is that from this or from our guests the last couple of weeks? Because our guests have been pretty crazy. We had 85-year-old rockabilly singer Jimmy Angel, and also last week was my favorite adult film star Ella Darling, and both of them will put me in a great mood. Jamie, this is a special request because I gotta announce it right now. And Josh, do it. Go ahead. This is a good time to do it. Yes, there you go.
"Hi."
There you go.
What's up, Marky?
Josh.
This is Josh. Josh Tripp. This is Hannah's boyfriend. Do you want to say hi to Jamie, Josh?
This is
Hi.
Jamie.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, Josh.
Sorry. Hi. I had to ask Mark permission first, but come in here. So you can give her a kiss on camera. Ah!
Well, I was going to ask you,
guys have
since
a
we're
great
having the
show.
big. Sorry, Josh, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Since we're having the big birthday party next week for Hannah, are you going to be involved in that?
What? Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you're going to be there or remotely. I'm assuming you're going to be there, but definitely
Why
please
don't you and I
participate because
talk
we've got.
about how about
a lot
you and
of
I
Hannah's-
talk about how we can make it great for her?
It's going to be on the 7th, so it might be remotely since she'll be here on the 10th.
Yeah.
So it's
Sounds
going to
good.
be, it's going to be a lot of surprises and a lot of Hannah's best friends. So see how cute that is, Jamie?
Yeah.
So
They
now I
are.
got to announce that next week is Hannah's birthday. We're going to have a killer show. I've already got most of it booked. I think all of it booked. And we have a special birthday surprise. I was going to send you a gift, mail it to you and have you open it on air, but I've got something different, and I think it's going to be really good. I think you can.
Cool.
It's going to be even better than the Motorhead coloring book that I sent you for Christmas.
Chrissy and I have been like coloring through that whole entire thing. I ordered these like really pretty like colored pencils, and we're having so much fun with it.
Well, I might have to send you another coloring book, but
Yeah.
so this week
Wow.
we're going to have fun with Jamie because and next week we're going to have fun for your birthday, and then Hannah's going to move on to Vegans Uncensored. I'm going to be after over 3 years. I'm going to be going back to my former co-host Nicole Six, and Hannah's going to go off with Mary Zaint. And please, you can still follow her on the podcast on Vegans Uncensored, which I've been listening to, and I always love hearing Mary and Hannah. Hannah talks so much more on that show than she does in this show. So if you really like Hannah, that's the show to listen to, and she's going to be there. And Josh just
Love you, Mark.
Josh is
Nice
such
to
a
meet you,
ham.
Jay.
You know that? I love Josh.
I know. What can I do?
You are a rock star. You are a performer. You're like me. You just can't. Once the camera's on, you just cannot get away.
Is there a camera here? What's going on? What's happening?
Yes. Well, this is all about Hannah now. So Hannah's and so it's been a great 3 years, and we've had so many great shows.
It has been a great
lot of them
years.
with Jamie, and
Yes.
we just she's we decided that her schedule and things that are happening, some health things, she hasn't been on the shows consistently as I really need, and I if I had my druthers, and it's funny because I called you and I really felt bad about it, and you weren't breaking up at all. You could care less, and I was almost crying, but you were like, yeah, okay, whatever.
No, I knew it was coming because of how many surgeries I've had in the past couple years, and not wanting to come on camera because I don't have a filter right now, and that insecurity. And I mean, I knew it was coming, and I kind of figured it's. Thank you. And I just it's time for you to and for us to try to go do different things, and maybe we'll come back together. You never know.
Well, what I told you on the phone, I'm going to say on air is that anytime you want to come back as a guest, you're more than welcome to.
Oh yeah.
And if
Totally.
you have somebody that you run across that you think would be terrific on my show rather than Vegans Uncensored, which you don't have any guests.
Yeah, we don't do guests. I'll send them your way, of course.
And you want to co-host, you're more than welcome to do that.
Thank you.
And next week we're going to give you a real blowout. So a lot of surprises. So Jamie, that's a surprise to you, I'm sure. So
yeah. Wow, I'm still kind of surprised. Yeah.
Maybe I should have said something to Jamie before I sprung it on her on air, but
no, I didn't know like if you wanted me to say anything until after the show or on the show, so I was going to leave that up to you.
Well, I want to get out of the way on this show because I want next show to be a celebration all about you. And when you see who we have on, you'll see what I mean. And of course, we're going to have 300 people wishing you happy birthday as we always do, including some A-list celebrities. So, or A-list for us, C for everybody else.
Yeah.
Jamie.
Yeah.
I asked Hannah, I said, your last show, your co-host, who do you want to have on?
Mm-hmm.
And she said without hesitation, Jamie Gendron. Now, why was that, Hannah?
I love her. I really, really do. And I'm so grateful that I met you. And we do have such a good connection. I love talking horror movies and fashion and just life in general with you. And we just have such a good vibe and a good flow and just always happy. Like my phone is you sending me a message. I'm happy. Looking at your face right now. I'm happy. Your posts, everything. I just love you.
I love you too. I love you too. I really do. It's so funny. We have so much in common. Even when you just said that you ordered the special colored pencils, I started coloring in my adult coloring books again like 2 weeks ago. It's so weird.
Yeah.
How we connect in the weirdest ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very soothing.
It is.
And I can color in the lines now.
I appreciate your friendship. I do. I do.
I do too. I treasure it very much.
And the coloring books are fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And when the pandemic's over, we'll be able to see each other. Or when we get our vaccines. Yeah.
No.
So you said that you two have been really connecting on almost a daily basis lately.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot.
Yeah.
We talk pretty frequently.
About what?
Just all sorts of stuff. Yeah, girl stuff. We just click on all sorts of things, and we both love horror movies a lot. So we talk about it. We talk about that. Skincare stuff. We definitely talk about tons of stuff like that, and makeup. Ever since the pandemic started, I told her, I got into a huge thing about buying makeup where I've actually spent about $5,000 on makeup just over the last summer. And so, yeah, there was that.
How many times have you actually gone out?
That's just it. I haven't gone out at all. Not except for like out to dinner a few times here and there. I really haven't gone out.
You see, you two look beautiful. I look like warmed over death, and
you look great, Mark.
I actually forgot to do my pumpkin mask today. I was going to do that so I could look fresh and hydrated for you. I'll do that next week. But you guys.
I did your pumpkin mask yesterday, or not yesterday, but 4 days ago.
No, it's great. It's great. Yeah, it really hydrates the skin. But is this? I mean, have you at least used the makeup with your boyfriend, like in intimate times? And
Look, I started wearing makeup almost every day, just sitting around the house. I sit around the house like this, just to do nothing. Good. Just to do nothing. Yeah. I mean, it's like, and
Hannah does the same thing, I'm sure.
Honestly, I don't know about her, but putting on makeup relaxes me. It's a soothing thing to me.
It is, and you can experiment and you can take your time and like, okay, I want to try this new trick, and you can get a YouTube video out and just practice your craft.
Yeah, exactly. Like the halo eyes, I've been obsessed with halo eyes, and so that's usually I kind of practiced tonight with it. But
is that what that is now? What is halo eyes? I don't.
Halo eyes means I've got the dark in the center, the dark on the outer, and the light in the center, because it's supposed to be like a haloed spotlight pinpoint.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right, and just brings out your pupils. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Well, you see, what I'm afraid of is when the pandemic's over, whenever that's going to be, and we can go out. I don't know how I'm going to approach a woman these days because it's like it's really
know.
weird. Like
Yeah.
they're all going to be dressed up. They're all going to be using the makeup that they bought $5,000 worth last summer, and I go up to them and they're like, they've got that built-in. I don't want to catch the virus. Please, just
People are going
stay
to
6
want
feet
proof
away.
of
And,
vaccination. Proof of vaccination. That's what it'll end up being.
but people died after having been vaccinated. And what am I going to do? Sit there with my vaccination staple it to my forehead? What am I supposed to do with that?
That might be the new, dating cue. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I heard they were thinking about doing it where it was on your cell phone.
Plus, I mean,
So that you'd be able to show that you've been vaccinated by your phone.
plus, I mean, there's so many guys that have so many diseases that still get laid. I mean, everybody knows that Tommy Lee has hepatitis. Everybody knows Dave Navarro has herpes. I mean, everybody knows these things, and they get laid like crazy.
Oh, well, don't you
very
think
true.
that? I would think that Tommy Lee would. I think that he would have been cured by now. Don't you think?
I think
Yes,
it mutated into another strain.
Oh yeah, well, there's that.
Yeah,
He looks
his
bad.
hepatitis probably caused the whole pandemic.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jamie, if you don't know, if you've never heard it before, and you will be delighted as always, but you grew up in New Orleans, and I have my green screen backdrop of New Orleans, and Hannah's never been there. So, Jamie, tell her the good and the bad of New Orleans.
The good and the bad. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Because there's a lot of both.
yeah, there is. The good is it can be a very beautiful city, and even the parts of the city that look like they're decaying and falling apart, like you can see a mansion and next door there will be some dilapidated old house falling apart and back into the earth. And it just something about the ruins of it and the moss in the trees and then the mansion next door, it can look really beautiful in a weird way,
Yeah.
and it's just got a vibe that I don't personally think any other US city has. I just don't. I think it has a vibe all of its own. And the people are just real with you there. They don't bullshit around. They just call it like it is. And if you like it, you like it. And if you don't, you don't. And that's kind of why I am the way I am.
Well, you don't bullshit anybody.
No, I don't feel the need to. Why?
Right. Exactly.
This is this scene here is actually from Frenchman Street, which I know you will agree with me is better than Bourbon Street.
Yeah, I love Frenchman Street.
So Hannah, when you go to New Orleans, when you finally go, you have to go down Bourbon Street once. You just have to do it.
I'm
But
gonna be like, I'm gonna feel so old walking through, and there are all these young kids.
no. There's plenty of old people getting drunk too. There's plenty of people way older than you that are getting fucked up.
She's got to go to the Fruit Loop. She's got to go to the Fruit Loop.
Yeah.
Where exactly is the Fruit Loop? Because I'm sure I've been there, but I don't know. I know the Fruit Loop in Las Vegas, but where's the Fruit
Bourbon
Loop?
and St. Anne. It's Bourbon and St. Anne is where it starts. That's where the Oz is and the Bourbon Pub. And that whole block, when you go around the block, there's places all around. There's Lafitte's on the next corner. There's Good Friends on the corner down at St. Anne and Dauphine. That's why they call it the Fruit Loop.
Because I know that
I
when you walk down Bourbon, there's a space where it becomes all gay bars for a block, and then I didn't know it was officially the Fruit Loop.
Yeah, that's what they call it, the Fruit Loop.
I'm gonna hang out there then. I love it. I miss Santa Monica Boulevard with my friends.
You would love the Oz. You would love Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And right across from the Fruit Loop is Lafitte's, as you said, Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop, which was built in the 1700s.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It still has the original building. They light everything by candlelight, although they have a slurper machine, and it's haunted. Vampires have walked in and out of there and suck people's blood.
You know, for many years they didn't allow transsexuals in there at all.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
maybe it's not that great, but once again, you go in there once and check it out.
Oh, I've
And then
been.
you go to Frenchman Street, and that's where the real party is.
Yeah.
And
I want to know
that's
about
where
all
you'll-
like the voodoo shops.
Oh, there's
they're
a
all
voodoo
over.
shop right by the Fruit Loop. You'll see
Yeah?
one right by the Fruit Loop. Like literally, you can see it from the corner. When you're standing by the bar, you'll see it from the corner.
Okay.
It's there.
All right. Very cool.
Well, you walk down Frenchman Street. It's the same thing as Bourbon Street, but it's not as gross and urine smelling.
It's more
and
locals.
That's where the locals are. That's where the cool people are.
Yeah.
And
All
then
right.
the bars will stop and you'll hit houses, but then there's usually jazz bands playing on the porch anyway, and everybody's getting drunk in the street anyway. So it might as well be a bar.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's why I moved there. There's no place quite like it. There is it's like a walking museum because everything is sold and and so interesting. And then it's just a fun town. The thing I wish I would have known before I moved there was, except for the Garden District and the French Quarter, it's kind of a ghetto.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I lived in the 7th Ward, which was not the best neighborhood, but I made do. But like you said, there were really nice houses in the neighborhood. I just didn't happen to be in one.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I've lived in the hood there. Trust me. I've lived in the hood in New Orleans, and it's easy to do. But
It's not as bad as the 9th Ward. The 9th Ward's weird. So a typical
I've stayed
day.
in the 9th Ward. I've stayed in the 9th Ward.
But
What's the craziest thing you guys witnessed on Bourbon Street?
Oh, let's see. Well, there's me walking down Bourbon Street wearing 7 $1 bills with stilettos. That's
nice.
That was pretty out there.
Where were the seven $1 bills placed?
I had one over each tit. I had 3 fanned across the front of my puss, and then 2 going up the crack of my butt to cover everything.
Wonderful. I bet it looked hot.
I spray adhesive duct tape for on the boobs and there so that I could peel it all off afterwards. But yeah,
I hope you shaved.
it was interesting. I worked behind the bar that night before I went out on Bourbon Street, and I ended up making like $500 to $700 in tips, something like that. It was a lot. I did good.
Wow.
Hannah's astonished, but if you walk down Bourbon Street with $7 bills taped to you, you would make $500 too.
I don't think so.
Oh, Hannah, you would be inundated. And then them throwing the beads. If it's a time of year when they're doing beads, oh my God.
Yeah.
They would just.
That's when the time to go, right? Mardi Gras.
It is. Mardi Gras is a fun time to go, but so is Southern Decadence. Southern Decadence is like LGBT Mardi Gras. And
It's a Pride Fest, yeah. It's like the Pride Festival of New Orleans.
Yeah. And
Halloween too is
That's when I
another.
would go.
Halloween's a great time to go, and so is New Year's. New Year's is a great party there.
You don't have to wait. I've never been there on Mardi Gras. They throw beads anyway, like any day of the week. They're throwing beads.
Yeah, beads are just, I mean, because they sell them so cheap in those t-shirt shops that, you know, it's very easy to do the show me your tits. But then, you know, many years ago, the girls started getting hip to that, and they started flipping it and started saying, no, you show your dick for some beads. And so then the guys had to start showing their dicks for beads. So it does work both ways now. But
yeah. Unfortunately, if I walked down Bourbon Street with $7 taped to me, I would come back $7 poorer. But that's not neither here nor there. So you were also
no.
Oh, trust me,
you are a good-looking dude. Stop.
No, stop. I'm not saying that for sympathy. I'm just trying to get a quick laugh. But I don't know. Maybe in the Fruit Loop. If I was in the Fruit Loop, I'd probably make $500. The rest of Bourbon Street, I would. I'd be lucky to escape with my life. But a typical day in New Orleans for me, I remember one night where I heard shots Then the next day, I'm walking down to the French Quarter, as I did every day, and police were blocking traffic so that a birthday parade could go down the street of like 20 people.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm sure the murder that I heard the night before went unsolved, but at least the birthday parade went through unscathed at 3 in the afternoon. So we were also talking, speaking of horror movies, great documentary coming up on the hotel. What's the hotel's name again?
The Cecil.
The Cecil. The Cecil, which is actually directed by the guy who directed the Paradise Lost movies, Joe Berlinger, who's a great documentarian. So this is going to be good. And this hotel is the most recent thing that's been creeping people out. And for me, that's even creepier than Richard Ramirez stayed there, was the girl in the elevator and the YouTube clip of her, and you don't know what's going on, and they found her in a water tank.
Yeah, and then people were drinking the water. They're like,
Right.
it tastes kind of funny.
He's like doing weird things with her hands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that's where that story came from. They made another movie out of that.
Yeah, so I guess they're going to try to get to the bottom of what happened to her, and also they're like, well, I guess the documentary was supposed to be just about her, and then when they researched, they're like, well, there's so many weird things that happened here. We're going to do it about the whole hotel.
Yeah, people have somehow jumped out of the high stories and just a lot of weird deaths. So
and you wanted to stay in Richard Ramirez's room for your birthday.
Well, we were trying to, and it's so solid booked up for months and months. And the lady was really sweet. She's like, just keep calling back to see if there's a cancellation because I want the top room.
Is that where he stayed? Was the top room? That's
the top room, but I don't know exactly which room, but it was the top floor.
That's what Bobby.
I don't know
Joe
where
told
Bundy
me.
stayed though.
Wow.
Yeah.
And was Richard Ramirez the hottest serial killer? I mean,
no,
he was so metal.
I've seen him. Yeah, he was. I don't find anybody that, especially now that I'm older, that's cruel and a murderer.
Some women like that chiseled kind of alpha male Latin love sort of thing.
Yeah, did you see that one mugshot of him? He's all like,
women like that too.
I've been attracted to total opposites of everything I stand for. Like, to me, Edward Norton in American History X, oh my God.
He was sexy in that movie, especially when his body was.
Oh, I mean, the swastika tattoo is against everything I believe in, but.
Yeah, but he didn't believe in it anymore.
Yeah. That helped make it palatable to like him because he was so sexy in that movie.
Although the original cut of the movie, which is why the director wanted to take his name off and not get any credit, was that after the brother dies, he goes back, he looks himself in the mirror, and he's ready to kill somebody. He's back as a racist. Like he holds the swastika. It's like, I guess it's inferred that he's back as a racist because they killed his brother.
Oh,
but they cut it. But they cut it. The studio cut it, and Edward Norton cut it so that he would have more scenes too. And the director tried to get him off it, and it was a whole thing. But he worked out for that. I mean, and plus he was fucking Courtney Love, so he's sort of like, before then he was so innocent.
I could not believe when I first heard that he was fucking Courtney Love. I was like,
well, I didn't even know he was fucking Courtney Love. What?
Wait,
why?
You were so young. Well, at the time, I mean, she was. This is celebrity skin cleaned up Courtney Love. I guess they met on the Larry Flint movie.
Yeah.
And then they just sparked a romance.
I cannot. But that, you know what that told me is that he's probably a dirty freak in bed, which is kind of a good. That's a plus. So that's
a plus.
I guess he would have to be.
Yeah, I would think to be with Courtney Love. I've seen her breastfeed homeless people on the street, so I'm pretty sure she's freaky in bed. I mean,
yeah.
Well, she's just doing her civic duty, but also then he dropped Courtney Love and started going out with Salma Hayek. So
wow, and then she ended up marrying a billionaire.
You gotta go on who's dated who. He's I I don't know what he's doing now, but he in the
Oh, I'm
90s,
sorry.
he
I
had
thought
like,
you meant Courtney Love dated Selma Hayek. I was like, wait, what?
well,
No,
who knows,
okay, I
who
know
knows
that
what
he-
happened with her, but she, yeah, so yeah, so that was, I don't know, oh, we're talking about serial killers and stuff like that, but we're getting off of that now. Jamie's back. She's, now, was New Orleans when you first started doing dominatrix stuff?
No, it was, well, New Orleans was where I first started getting into the DNS scene personally in my personal life. Like
Mhm.
I had done it for money in Houston. Well, I told you when I very first left home, I was in Houston. And so I did it in Houston for money. But when I was 18, I got together with this guy and started dating him. And he was a Dom. And so he introduced me to it because I was always the Dom in the situations before that. And so for me to relinquish control was really a big deal, especially considering my early childhood.
Mhm.
You know, it was a big trust issue thing for me to give myself over to somebody like that. But once I did, I liked it. And,
Oh, really?
yeah, and I can play both. I can play both ways. But
But
that's who got me into it for real.
are you a switch in real life? Or you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really? I didn't know that because you were so effective spanking a guy on our show and just really. Well, you came out to us and you're like, I want to spank somebody and get back to the Dom stuff and do it for a show, and we did, and you were great. So
Yeah.
natural,
Well,
so merciless.
yeah. What's funny, one time I was speaking to my friend Bobby Joe in New Orleans. She had a client when we were hookers, and
Mhm.
she brought him back to our apartment. And so I hear her in the living room, and she comes in the bedroom and she tells me, "Girl, where's a belt? I need a leather belt." And I said, "Why?" She said, "I'm spanking this guy and I need a leather belt." And so I said, "What do you," and she was going to, and then she pulled out a spandex belt. And I said, "No, you can't beat him with that." So I grabbed a thick, heavy metal, like it's studded metal belt, like a leather belt with the studs on it. And I brought that out there and I started beating the hell out of this guy. And I took money too and started beating the hell out of the guy. And then when he turned over, he still had the suction cup marks on his chest because he had had a heart attack and had just gotten out of the hospital the night before. And I was like, wait a minute, you just got out of the hospital from major coronary and you're in here wanting to get beat? Like, I was so, thank God he didn't die on me. Thank God he didn't die on me.
So you would think the doctors would at least say, look, wait 3 to 4 days before you get beaten with the leather belts.
You would think, you would think somebody
Make them
would
sign a
have
contract.
Yes,
Yeah.
after your quadruple bypass, it's advised that you go maybe 2-3 days before you get your ass beat by two women.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess they liked it, so I don't know. That's what they
Yeah.
had to do.
Yeah. Now my submissive side now, that's when I get soft and I let my walls down and it's just a different side of me, that's all.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that side of you. I'm trying to think if I have.
Oh, you've seen me let my guard down as far as friendly, being
Friendly stuff, yeah.
Yeah. But no, I don't think you haven't seen me let my guard down in those ways. No.
Your persona, especially your comic persona, is definitely a take charge, dominate the room sort of person.
Yeah.
And
Well, I try to be.
What's that?
I said I try to be. It's intentional. It's definitely intentional. I mean, if you don't take control of the situation, then the situation's going to take control of you. So, I guess I'm just kind of a control freak in a way.
And by the way, this may be a new thing that we're going to do on the show, but this is where I say that Zoom sucks. And if we were in the room at the same time, we could have interacted in real time. And there, we just had to go, "Oh, what'd you say? What? I hate the I hate the delay on Zoom, but we're in a pandemic. What are we going to do now? Oh, speaking of that, so you're very political. You're on Facebook, and you're never shy about giving your opinions. So when you see somebody without a mask, are you really aggro about it or what?
Oh, hell yes. It
Okay.
pisses me off so bad. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so do Karens. All this Karen phenomenon, these white women who feel so entitled to just act just the most vile ways with people. And I actually had my own run-in with one, and she was at the counter. Oh, she was at the counter at a Chipotle, and she was insisting.
Now wait, before you go, Jamie, before you say anything, that's where you're going to find Karens. Is at the counter at Chipotle. They hang out there. That's where they go.
It's the Karen.
That's the Karen habitat. It's the Chipotle. But go ahead.
So she was at the counter and she kept arguing with them about paying for her guacamole because she said that the other Chipotle she had gone to gave her free guacamole. And finally I was like, look, would you please just pay for the goddamn guacamole and get out of here? And she looked at me and she was like, no, you don't seem to understand, and started walking towards me. And I was like, oh, And I was like, you know what? And I started to pull out my phone and I said, I'm just going to go live with you the way everybody does with all these other Karens. And then she was like, she started to put her hand up towards my phone. And I said, oh, lady, look, if you make the mistake of touching my phone, it's going to be a mistake that you're really seriously going to fucking regret. So if I were you, I'd pull your hand back. And she did.
Yeah.
And then luckily there was a cop in line behind us, and he told her, look, lady, you need to go. You need to get on out of here. Just take your food and go. And the cop told her, you need to pay the people because that's their policy, and get the hell out of here. And I was glad that the cop stepped in because I will sit there and, I can have a temper. So, well,
Did you pay for her guacamole? She ultimately paid for her guacamole.
She deserved it.
She did. She did.
Deserved to get her foot right up her ass too.
Yeah. Yeah, if she would have
You two have never complained at a restaurant? You've never tried to get a little extra something at a restaurant? Never?
I never do, because I look at it this way. If something comes on my plate and I don't like it, I just don't eat it, because I'm not going to send it back and have somebody spit in it or do something else shady to it. You know, I worked in a restaurant. I watched some of the stuff that happened with people, with customers that complained, and no.
Yeah, I'm terrified. I remember on my first date with Josh, we went to outdoor dining thing in Hermosa, and I ordered a salad because that's the only thing that had vegan on the menu, and it said nothing about having cheese on it, and I was so embarrassed, and I didn't want to look like oh my god, like, why is there cheese on there? And I started scraping it away. I'm like, no, it's just coconut, and I just ate a little bit of it, and I sent it the rest home with him, and I was sick for 2 days. And I was just like, but I didn't want to be an ass.
Oh no. Yeah.
Well,
I used to wait tables too. I waited tables at Denny's, which is the worst. And,
you get the drunk people. Woo.
Well, not just that, but just everybody complains at Denny's. I mean, it's just
it's Denny's.
Oh,
this slide is so weird. Anyway,
I got
this one out, but let me. There we go. Anyway, sorry about that. No, I was reliving my college days waiting tables at Denny's. But I never saw anybody spitting the food, but I did see people like put eggs, like fried eggs, under the heat lamps way too long. And they would like curl up and get hard, and then but the people that the customers are just horrible. It's just like you go to these people and they're like, first off, everybody wants their eggs over medium. They just don't know how to say it. All right, well, you don't, but I'm just saying, I was going to do a bit, but forget it. Anyway, so here's the thing about the Karen thing. My friend is married to a lovely woman, white woman of a certain age named Karen. It's so bad for her. She hates it.
I have an aunt Karen.
I have an aunt Karen too. They hate. I mean, it's damning every Karen.
She happens to be the only aunt that I have that I can't stand too.
I know a lot of Karens. I feel bad for all of them. I have an ex-girlfriend Karen. I don't know how she's dealing with it, but they've
I know my
never
aunt
figured
Karen
out the.
actually is a Karen. She's like a total Karen. She would, yeah, no. Rich white Republican, totally entitled.
Ugh.
Yeah, totally entitled. Yeah, no.
Now, which of those made you say, "Ew"? The rich, the white, or Republican? That's what I want to find out.
There are members of my
Sure.
family, I always said that I was like white trash on my mother's side and
Hmm.
on middle class on my dad's side. But the girls in my dad's family did very well for themselves and married very well. And so they both ended up being multimillionaires, and
No, you told me that. Actually, I was listening to our past shows, and you told me that the first show that you were apparently you might be in line for an inheritance.
oh yeah, I am an heir for my shares of 2 sugarcane plantations, but
And that's when I stopped momentarily flirting with our other guest at that time, Candace, and started flirting with you, but that didn't go anywhere.
yeah, no, it's like, how do I put it? It's more of an honor kind of. It's a cool little factoid that I'll have those shares. It's not anything that's going to make me wealthy unless they decided to open up the oil wells again, because they were drilling for oil on the land,
Okay.
but they made them cap the wells. The Federal Reserves made them cap the wells. So
it's not GameStop or anything good like that.
no, right now they're just growing sugar and doing weddings, and Oprah actually rents out the house that my grandmother was born in and that my grandmother gave birth to her first 2 children in. And
Oprah Winfrey rents that out.
yeah, she rents that house for her show, Queen Sugar. And she
Really?
she uses my grandmother's house for that show.
Well, now you tell me.
Yeah.
Well, can't you use that connection to get on the show?
Like,
hey, Oprah,
they don't even allow the family on the property when she's there to shoot. When they're there to shoot, we're not even allowed to be there on the property. So it's the deal that there's only family can own shares in it. And there's a board of directors that are all relatives, and the board of directors make these decisions. And, as a shareholder, I'll have a say to a point, but I would have to gather signatures within the family if I wanted to affect any kind of change on anything, I mean, there's some cool stuff. Like, I have a painting of the plantation where my grandmother was born, and they want that painting when I die. So I'm going to donate. It's going to be donated to the house when I die, and it's going to hang in the house, and there's going to be a story told on the tour of who it belonged to and who I was. So that's kind of cool to know. I mean, it's just kind of cool to know that you'll live on in a little way that way,
So you're royalty, and you've been hiding this the whole time.
No, I'm hardly royalty, but it's cool.
You're royalty to us.
That's for sure. And Oprah's kind of being a Karen to you.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, if you think about it, she kind of is. But
well, I was gonna go into. It was interesting because I found out because one of my friends who's not, I wouldn't say a terribly progressive thinker, forwarded me a text about Biden nominating a transsexual as assistant health secretary.
Yeah.
And he captioned it, "Now it begins." I'm like, who cares? I mean, I don't know who the assistant health secretary was under Trump. Who cares? And then when you look into her qualifications, she's absolutely qualified.
Oh yeah, definitely. But what begins? That would have been my next question. Well, what begins exactly? I actually lost a friend recently, over this whole thing. Because
see, that's the difference. I don't lose friends because I don't take people's political opinions one way or the other.
Oh no,
they're entitled to their opinions. That's me.
No. When it comes to human rights, though, because I have friends in every community. One of my best friends, Abraham, was born in another country. He went to Iraq to fight,
Mhm.
He married a wonderful man. He's a wonderful person, and he works with children in the inner cities. Like and anytime somebody puts someone like that down, you're putting somebody I love down. They're also putting me down because I have disabilities and I get made fun of. They're putting my grandfather down, putting Jamie, everybody loved down. They can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, it's not just it's not the old school Republican Democrat thing. It's just a bunch of fucking disgusting hate that has happened in the past 4 years.
Oh, it definitely is. The Trumpist movement, it's not over. It's not
it's
over.
gonna get crazy. Yeah, we're gonna see more crazy shit, and it's a good thing maybe we're locked up in our house because of this pandemic.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go out to the protests in the streets unless I really have to. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I feel pressured to where I feel like, okay, they're taking it to the point where it's time for me to fight back too and do my part.
Right.
But yeah, it would take a lot. It would take a lot because I'm too scared of the virus right now. You know, there's things I want to do. You know, there's a little freshening up surgery that I want to have done. And
Freshening up.
yeah, and I
How
don't.
fresh can you get? You're beautiful. Stop it.
No, it's nothing in the face. It's nothing in the face.
The body's beautiful. You were on a. You were. Oh, what happened?
I broke my chair. I had
Okay.
it held together with putty. I'm sorry.
Josh, what are you doing back there? But you were cast on a show as a bikini model
Yeah.
with women 30 years younger than you.
Oh yeah.
I think that attests to what kind of body you have.
This is just something that I wanted done really badly, and it's been postponed. It was supposed to be at the beginning of March, and now because of COVID, they said that there's no elective surgeries going on in Los Angeles. So it's postponed until further notice, but you know, it's not anything major. It's just something that, like I said, something I want for me.
You're not going to tell me what it is.
No.
Okay. But and you've had plastic surgery, obviously. We know.
Yeah.
That.
No, I have.
And you
love
follow
it.
Hannah's
It's
posts.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, you know where this is going, Hannah. And you
Well,
follow
I'll
Hannah's
say this
posts.
much. I'll say this much. This is like an intimate revision. Okay.
Okay. I've moved past whatever you're doing, whatever vaginal rejuvenation you're doing. But
Yeah,
I'm just saying, you've seen Hannah's posts on social media and how much she wants to get plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Oh, ever since I was a child.
And I don't think she needs it.
You know what? It's a matter of if you want it that bad.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something that you really want that badly, then you know what? I mean, I grew up with a dad. My dad was always very pro plastic surgery. He had a nose job in the early 80s. You know,
Oh, really?
he had hair transplants. You know, he's not shy to fight aging at all,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And that's kind of how I was raised. So me trying to fight it is not really an unusual thing at all. I'm very pro plastic surgery. But
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, Hannah, if you do something, you always want to still stay recognizable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't want to become a totally different person where you're not even a recognizable, where nobody can even tell it's you anymore, you know?
Yeah. My reconstructive surgeon, the one that's been working with my tumor removal, he does, Dr. Pearson, he's amazing. He does some of the most beautiful work. And he does a lot of like charity work, and he's the only person I'm going to let touch my face. And right now he said, I'm not going to give you any fillers. No way. He said, if you decide to do lip injections, that's fine. Or do the gummy bear implants.
Gummy bear implants?
That's what I've got.
Yeah. Do you like them? How are they? They look beautiful.
I do like them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Explain gummy bear implants to somebody like me who doesn't know what you're talking about.
Gummy bear implants means that the implant is, if you cut it in half, It's like those, you remember the old Jules gum things where it's like squishy in the middle, except the difference is when you cut the implant in half, you can hold the two halves and nothing will come out. Like it all stays inside the implant. It's not, it's the gel is a different consistency than the old school gels. The old school gels were liquidy, and that's why it would migrate when they ruptured. When these rupture, they don't migrate. The silicone stays right there. It doesn't migrate if the bag ruptures. So it's safer. It's still silicone, but it's a safer version of
But
it.
these are lip implants or breast implants?
They do for lips and breast.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm confused because yeah.
No, I want
'Cause-
both.
I did lip injection.
Wait a second. Last week we had my favorite adult film star, Ella
We
Darling,
did.
and you
But
remarked
then I
how
was
beautiful.
watching some movies, and I was
her-
just like, these girls and these boobs, I want them.
She has small breasts, but they're beautiful, as I'm sure yours are. Josh knows better than I do, but
He doesn't care. He's just more worried about my health condition and if it
well,
would
I am too.
Yeah.
I don't think you need it, and this is a good segue to say that you are still in the running to be the cover girl for Inked magazine.
Yeah, and I got some hate today. They're like, well, you're not
tell us
tattooed
about it.
enough. I was like, wait, what? I was like, my whole thing is I go about neurofibromatosis, and I want to put somebody that was born different on the cover so it makes other people feel better. And we need to be recognized and have our surgeries covered because it's a deadly disease. And he totally missed that point.
Huh.
So,
What
yeah,
did
it was
this troll
very
say?
rude. He's like, you have a very beautiful face. He's like, but you don't have enough tattoos to be like all those other girls, all those other models on there. Like, who are you to say that?
How many tattoos do you have to have? I mean, to qualify.
Right? Exactly. They never even said that when I signed up. They don't care. They don't ask.
Oh, okay, that's not. I thought it was something personal and really bad about your disease or something. That's not as
I've
bad as I
gotten
thought
that
it was
so
going to
many
be.
times.
What's that?
I just let that go now.
No, I'm not saying it's a nice thing to say, but I
Right.
that's a lot better than I thought. Where I thought you were going,
Oh.
where he was going to make fun of your disease or something.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I've had
you
that
don't
happen my
like
whole
your disease.
life. Yeah. No.
They make
Really,
fun of
that's-
you for that? That's really fucked up.
Yeah, before I had a lot of my reconstructive surgeries, they'd ask me if I was contagious, what's wrong with you. I went to a job interview at a spa place where they take care of skin. And the guy was so clueless. He's like, what? And I explained it to him 3 times. It's neurofibromatosis. I grow tumors and my body can't turn it off. He's like, well, is it contagious? Are you going to get our clients sick?
Oh, God.
What?
He's a man working in skincare that has no idea what he's talking about. Go
Right,
figure.
exactly.
Yeah, how do you even get that job?
Anyway,
Right.
it's amazing. I work in skincare and you don't. But Jamie,
Uh-huh.
so man, where's time go? Like you say, we've just been talking about nothing. It's been so much fun.
Oh, whoa.
I know.
Yeah, no. But now you haven't done comedy. The last comedy show you did was probably a year and a half ago, right?
Yeah, it's been a little over a year ago. Yeah.
And you miss it, huh?
Oh, I miss it a lot. You know, like I said, I don't want to do anything that's going to postpone me any further. So that's why I've been extra careful, you know, because this is something I started planning last fall. So I'm just trying to be as careful as possible. That's all. And LA, it's with these new variant strains running around, and
Well, that's
It's
the
a
sad
frightening
part of the
thing.
pandemic is nobody knows anything, and
yeah.
I knew it was going to mutate, and it just keeps mutating and mutating and mutating. Not just LA, but everywhere.
And you know, I'm lucky. I'm 50 years old, but I'm very healthy, except for that I was born with one kidney. That's something that I kind of worry about if I were to catch the virus. Like, would it affect your kidneys? You know.
I'm
But
learning so much.
yeah, I learned it when I was 30. I was having a sonogram on my abdomen, and they found out that I was born without my right kidney.
I don't even get it. I was going to say a kidney implant, but I was reaching for a joke. It just wasn't there. But Now,
Hey, anything ever comes up, I'll see if I can be a donor. But
no, we would all
nothing-
donate, of course, if we're matches. But no, this goes back because I was listening to all your past shows, and I don't know if I ever got the answer. When was the first time you did stand up comedy? I think you told me off the air.
The first time, well, the first time really was getting up on stage in New Orleans years and years ago, because you had to get up and tell jokes to MC the shows and stuff. So, you know,
So this was at the strip club that you were at, because there's no real comedy clubs in New Orleans.
No. That's when I went into doing the showgirl thing for a while, and I started my own production company, and I was producing pageants, and yeah, I did a lot of things in New Orleans. When I had my production company, it blew up really big, really fast, and people were starting to want us at a very big demand very quickly, and it was very overwhelming because I was very young, and it just kind of freaked me out after a little while, and I could have been successful at it, but I knew that the whole trans pageant system thing, I'm an admirer of the pageants, don't get me wrong. Going to them, I like to go to them, but I just knew that it wasn't in me to be the one in them and stuff. And I did do some. I did 6 pageants, and I won 5, and I was first runner-up in another one. So, I mean, I did very well on the ones I did, but I got out of the showgirl thing after about 3 years. It lasted. But that was the first time that I had to get up there and entertain people and tell jokes and do stand-up in between acts to give people time to get ready for stage and stuff like that. So.
Any hecklers? I would imagine, probably, huh?
It would depend. Some would try. You know who the best audiences were lesbians. Lesbians fucking love transsexuals. Love them.
Why do you think that is?
No idea. I don't know if it's because it would be a way for them to get laid and still be a lesbian and not have to use toys. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really understand how that works because I'm not attracted to women, so don't really know how that works. But I'm
attracted to lesbians, and I don't mean that in a flippant way, and I don't mean that in a it's a porn and let's have 2 chicks and that kind of thing. I'm attracted to, for lack of a better word, masculine-looking women. I'm attracted to women with short hair that don't necessarily glam things up. That it's frustrating because they like hanging out with me, but they just don't. They're not interested in me at all.
Yeah, there was one little lesbian who was a hot little lesbian. I mean, I had to admit that if I was ever going to go there, that would have been the one I would have went there with. And I even looked at her and I said, you know what? If you had a dick, it would be on. It would be on.
Was she a lipstick lesbian, or was she like butchy?
No, she was butch. She was a butch girl, but she was so hot. She was so hot, and it just didn't. We had to stay friends because I couldn't go there.
No, I seem to click with a lot of lesbian women that would just seem to have just the greatest time, and then
Well, see, maybe if you had some gummy bears, they'd be all
trust me, I don't need gummy bears. You could take Hannah and Ella Darling together. I think I got both beat. But so what's happening with the sitcom? Is that still in production, or?
They told me that it still is, but they're waiting for more than 10 people to be allowed in a house because that's where the location is a house in Sylmar. And so they're waiting for, it needs to be at least 15 to 20 people in this house for the shoot. So everybody's going to have to be tested. Probably, I honestly don't know when they're going to reshoot it, when they're going
Right.
to shoot it. You know,
And hopefully you've gotten over your trepidation of being 30 years older than the other women.
you know, the funny thing is that I gained a little bit of weight from COVID times, and I feel more confident in the bikini with a few more pounds on me because I was a little on too thin side for me.
Mm.
For my frame, I was a little too much on the thin side, and my body fills out the bikini better at the
I bet
high.
it does.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's something to look forward to. And any Zoom auditions? Anything
I've
coming
done
up?
about 6 of them, but hearing back from people, you know, it's like 1,000 no's for every one yes. So
Yeah.
just waiting, trying and waiting. I even tried. I was supposed to be a ballet instructor for a Subaru commercial. So I tried to be a ballet instructor, and I was trying to like act like I was organizing the girls for class, and you know, and I did the whole scene, but I guess I don't look the part of a ballet teacher. And honestly, what ballet teacher is going to have 36 triple D breasts because no ballerina is busty like that? I kind of knew I wasn't going to get it, but
Did you
I
try
still
to
thought.
hide the assets? Like wear a high
Yeah,
cut?
you know what? I actually did. I wore a neckline, like a crew neckline, and I wore a very, almost like a 50s dress, where I even had the crinoline petticoat underneath the skirt of it so that it flared and did the 50s thing. Yeah, it was a cute, I tried to look more matronly and, you know, flowy to look more like a dancer, but it is what it is, you know. Either they want you or they don't. So
All right. Well, there's
yeah,
plenty of other auditions to come.
oh
So
yeah.
Hannah, I like to say it's been over an hour. I can't believe how fast it went. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah,
last
it
questions
has
for
been a
Jamie?
lot of
Anything?
fun.
Any gossip? Any chit chat you want to get in there?
We kind of have our own little chit chat thing going on about
Yeah.
something that I hope works out. Hope
Yeah.
something
Oh, really?
comes her way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave that for another time if it works out.
Yeah.
Another podcast or?
No,
No.
it was just a suggestion.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay. I just
Just secret for now.
okay.
It's
Well,
girl stuff. It's just girl stuff, Mark.
Yeah.
anyway, so I guess we'll leave it at that. Sounds like Josh knows what it is. Anyway,
Oh,
Jamie, if anybody wants to get a hold of you, anybody wants you for their show or their Zoom comedy shows, I recommend you should audition at Flappers. They'll probably give you a bunch of shows. Everybody's doing those shows, and there's some Zoom
Really?
shows going all around. Maggie Mayfield's having her Zoom open mic tomorrow.
I got an email from Flappers. I'll have to look at it.
Well, they're really going virtual, and they're trying to get things going. And I know some comedy clubs are opening a little bit at a time, but you don't have to go out. I mean, there's everything's on Zoom. So hopefully you'll be doing comedy soon. But if people want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you, Jamie?
You can look up Jamie Gendron on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and you will find me because it'll pull up my handle. So just search my name.
And you'll see beautiful pictures and incendiary political content and funny stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes. So if you want to jerk off and curse Trump at the same time, that's where you go. And Jesus Christ with this light. And I was just about to say, Hannah's boyfriend Josh will be joining us next week, hopefully. Go to Jamie. You should go to YouTube and see his concert film Motorbone, live from the Sunset Strip, I believe it's called, and it may be called something different, but it's you'll get to see some high octane rock and roll. So, and you guys you'll get to see him with his shirt off, and I'm sure that has something to do with the girl talk you'll be talking about. And Hannah, go check out Vegans Uncensored on all your podcast catchers. Hannah and Mary Zaint talking vegan and other things. And are you going to be talking about Marilyn Manson this week or no?
We're very undecided about that. I want more to come out.
I figured that might be a topic of discussion.
It is, and we kind of had a disagreement in the beginning about it because I think there's females out there that want to do harm to men just because of my upbringing with my mother, and I want to get some more information about it, so I'm really read about it. Well, because I've had friends that were close with him, and he's never done anything weird, so I don't want to talk about it unless I'm like fully acknowledged about everything. I just made a rant about Tito Ortiz though because he's a piece of shit. But that's
I know people that were friends with Marilyn Manson and can validate some of that. And also, if you read his book, where he made groupies stick enemas up their ass and fucking over a bowl of Fruit Loops. I mean, I don't know if this guy's the most sensitive lover in the world.
But
there's a lot of groupies that are willing.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're willing and you're a willing participant and you're a consenting adult, well, you know.
Anyway.
And that's what he said. He said everybody was consensual.
Well, anyway, he's I hope he saved his money because his career's over. But anyway, neither here nor there. If you go to Vegans Uncensored, you never know what they'll be talking about this week. Also, vote for Hannah to be the inked model, and you made the top 15. Last year you made the top 4 in your bracket.
Yeah, so, I did.
So the next cutoff is 10, I would imagine.
Next cutoff is 10. I'm currently number 8.
All right, keep voting for Hannah. Jamie, vote for Hannah. Josh, you better start voting for Hannah. And Hail Hannah Box 666 on Instagram.
And you click the link in my bio, and it'll take you right there.
Right, and go to Goth Comedian on all social media, and next week the big birthday party.
Yeah,
you won't believe who's showing up.
Put me in the grave.
How old are you?
Interestingly enough,
I'm gonna be 37.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, there's something that will be happening on the birthday that's pretty close to that, but I'm not going to spoil the surprise. Anyway. No, it's a good one. Everybody have a wonderfully creepy week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.